Okay, so let's see. To recap, in 14 Days with You, we met this guy who looks surprisingly like this anime character we absolutely love. And he's very shy sometimes, but then other times he's not, and we can't quite get a handle on like what his personality is. He was flirted with by a different girl while on a date with us, and we got a little bit jealous. But I'm pretty sure he threatened to throw her down the stairs based on the little clues we got. Let's see. We went out on a double date with our friend. Well, not our friend, but with our friend that I forgot her name. Alora? Elena, something like that. And one of our old, like, pals that we ran around with in our big group of friends named Tio, who's an absolute tool. And he tried to get us to go into a storage closet together to make the girl and Ren jealous. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. And then we invited Ren over to our house to watch shows. I don't know if he's still there. I guess we'll find out. Rather than the faint chirping of birds outside my window, it's the sound of something buzzing that rudely pulls me from my slumber. Muscle memory immediately kicks in, causing me to haphazardly throw my arm above my head and fumble around in search of the noise. When my hand lands on what I think is my phone, I groggily pull it closer to see what all the fuss is about. My boss's name flashes on the screen, causing me to awaken fully, and I unlock my phone to read his message. Library will be closed today for pesticide spraying. Bookworms are back. You'll get paid leave. Conan. Dang! Thanks, boss! Well, that was relatively short and to the point, much like how Conan is always known to be, though he was never really the type to substitute letters with numbers. He was always more of the punctual type, I guess. Ah, well, maybe Eleanor. That's her name, Eleanor. Eleanor was giving him texting lessons again. Or perhaps his daughter Alice? Was she even old enough to text? Before I can let my thoughts wander, I instead busy myself with drafting a response before haphazardly throwing my phone onto the empty space near my bed and letting out a sigh. Wait, empty space? That reminds me, what happened to Ren? Last thing I remember from last night was us snuggled up on the couch together. At that, my cheeks immediately grow warm at the thought, and without so much as thinking, I reach for my phone once more to check out the security camera app he installed. I guess it was a good purchase after all, seeing as I could use these cameras to spy on a certain pink-haired cutie, one who is hopefully still in my apartment. Looking for the app he installed on my phone, I open it up and navigate towards the camera in my living room. I see the telltale signs of my pillows and blankets on the couch, though what catches my interest is the fact that they were neatly stacked and put away, with no Ren in sight. Curious, I switched to a different camera to find him. He wasn't in my kitchen either, and not near my entryway. There's no point checking the camera in my bedroom since, well, I'm here already, which only left. As soon as I check out the camera in my hallway, it's then that I notice a familiar pair of blue jeans and a soft cardigan slumped against the wall. Was that Ren sitting outside my door? What is he doing? Perhaps a bit impulsively, I sit upright in bed and call out for him, and almost immediately I hear the telltale signs of someone clambering around outside my bedroom, shortly followed by the faint sound of a throat clearing before a familiar patch of pink hair peeks through the gap in the door. He did. So we were having like break-in issues, and we felt was like somebody was in our apartment, but we got like a camera, like a security system, and we had no idea how to install it. But Ren is really smart with computer stuff, so he was like, "Oh, I'll install it for you. Like, let me help you." Ren peers in and sheepishly looks at me with a soft smile before he opens the door fully and invites himself inside. Good morning, Angel. Did you sleep well? Ren looks like he wants to say something, but instead chooses to clam up and stare at his feet. I almost want to reach out and ask him to look at me, but I hold back in favor of letting him take the initiative. Aww, have fun doing your job. Still, it doesn't stop me from calling out his name. Ren? Almost immediately, Ren's head whips up as he looks at me with wide eyes. There's a crooked smile on his face this time, and almost timidly, he shuffles on his feet as if deciding whether he can come closer. You asked me to stay last night, but then you started mumbling about not having enough room for something, so I carried you to your bedroom instead, and then you asked me to join you in your bed, but then you said something about the grown-ups saying it'd be okay for me to stay, and I didn't really know what to make of that, to be honest. Crap, seriously? Was I really sleep talking about something that happened when I was a kid? But I figured you really did want me to stay, so I ended up camping out in your living room. So don't worry, nobody came in your room. Besides me, of course. And I only just woke up, actually. Right. If you still want to, I can join you and, actually, no, never mind. Ren looks like he'll combust on the spot if he talks any longer, and if sharing the same thought, he clams up and awkwardly scratches his jaw. From that reaction alone, I have the slightest inclination as to what he wanted to ask me. Now that I think about it, would it be such a bad idea? I'm ready to turn the game capture black if needed. This isn't the NSFW version of this game, so it should be fine, right? Were you going to ask if you could join me in bed? Yes. No, wait, I mean, you don't mind? Because I don't mind standing here. Honest, you can't even notice the draft. I don't mind the sunlight directly hitting my eyes at all. Come here, Ren. Almost like a puppy, he immediately makes a beeline towards me, but not before closing the door and waiting for me to lift the blankets up. I suppose that's his way of making sure I really wanted him in my bed. Aww. Not wasting another second, Ren joins me underneath the duvet and makes himself comfortable beside me. Hi. Hey, stranger. Your bed is so warm. That's usually what happens when someone sleeps in it. I don't miss the way he pulls the blanket closer to his face with a warm smile. Funny, I sometimes do the same thing whenever I pull my clothes from the dryer. There's just something about the warmth and soothing scents that make me feel happy. Makes me wonder if Ren is feeling the same. Though, admittedly, it was a bit weird knowing that they're my sheets and not his own. But Ren's eccentric nature had been growing on me the last few days. Somehow, this didn't really faze me anymore. Ren, however, seems to have different thoughts. As if realizing what he had just done, his eyes grow wide as saucers before he whips his head in the opposite direction and feigns interest in the wall. There's a prominent blush spreading across his cheeks as he clears his throat and pulls the blanket down again. Before I can react, my phone goes off for what felt like the 100th time this morning, and I fish around for it once more with a groan. Not bothering to look at the screen this time, I swipe my finger across the screen to answer the call. Wait, call? Hey, morning, sleepyhead. Got something big to share with you. If it's not too much trouble, could you go to the fairy tournament? Wait. Who's in your bed? Hello? Yes, you. I can see your arm. Yeah. I'm okay with her knowing about my boyfriend that we haven't. I like the long hair. I think it's cute. I did try the different hairstyles on him, but I definitely like the long the best. I like guys with long hair, what can I say? This is Ren, the guy I was telling you about. Ren doesn't seem to shy away when I tilt the camera towards his face. In fact, he only seems to lean closer to me before acknowledging Moth with a smile. Huh? Since when did you become friends with the real-life version of Haruko? And you didn't even tell me? Or, wait, I think you did. Is that the submissive and breedable? Fuck, girl, what are you doing? Is that the submissive and breedable guy you were... Okay, I think we should move on from this topic. Moth, this is Ren. Ren, this is Moth. Nice to meet you, Mr. Submissive and... Moth! What does that mean? Nothing, Pookie Bear. Don't you worry. Pookie Bear? Please don't ask. No, ask her. I'm having way too much fun with this. Hey, tell me, does Angel make you wear Haruko's outfit too? No, not yet. Yet? You've talked about this? No. I just, well, if she asked, I'm sure I wouldn't say no, and... Alright, I think we're done here. Moth, didn't you say you had something important to tell me? Oh, right. Remember how I told you about that drawing raffle I won? You know, the other day when we were at the manga store? Very breedable. I'd say he looks submissive and breedable. Yeah, but you got caught off near the end, though. I couldn't really make out what you were saying after our call disconnected. I did? Weird. Maybe I'm remembering things differently again. Dang. Well, there's no harm in telling you again. You can hear me this time, right? With a laugh, I nod my head while Ren gives a thumbs up from behind my shoulder. Clearly, he's just as invested in our conversation. Loud and clear. All right, drum roll, please. Guess who won a free trip to New Salvis? Me! That's who! No way! I can feel Ren jolt in surprise from my sudden outburst before he settles back by my side. After that, I shoot him an apologetic smile, one that he returns with his own. Yes, Way! I'm passing through Corlin Bay right now, and I figured you were still in the area. Maybe we could... Did you want to meet up? Knowing that this could potentially be the first time I meet Moth in person, I don't bother to hide my joy and excitement. Finally, after years and years of video calls and messaging each other online, we now had the chance to do it face to face. But before my thoughts can delve any further, Moth interrupts in a tone equally excited as mine. Would that be okay? I mean, the shuttle won't pick me up until tomorrow morning, so I haven't got much planned. And I wouldn't want to intrude or anything. I know this is also sudden and we've never actually met in person yet, or even made any plans to. Hey, it's fine. I could show you around the bay, take you to the infamous beach from Attack on Giants. Say less! It's then that I realize Ren is still sitting next to me, peering over my shoulder while Moth and I converse. A wave of guilt washes over me, but Moth seems to step in before I can react. Oh, right! The iconic beach scene wouldn't be complete without Haruko, would it? You should bring him with you, I don't mind. Aw, bestie! Thank you, bestie. My name's Ren, but if it's alright with Angel too, I wouldn't mind tagging along. Oh, right, you're a big fan of Attack on Titans too. You remembered? I mean, yeah. I really like that anime too, so I don't mind tagging along. If it's okay with you, of course. I'd love to have you with me. Ren almost slams his head against the headboard with how quickly he straightens up, as Moth snickers at his reaction in the background. Kiss, kiss, kiss. I'll seriously hang up on you. Moth's teasing calms down the moment I send them a faux glare. Ren seems to find amusement in my words as well, given how the corner of his lips pull into the faintest of smiles. Man, who knows what you two were getting up to in bed before I called. Goodbye. Don't ever call me again. Hold on. I'll be waiting for you guys at the ferry terminal, but don't make me wait too long. Watching the ocean makes me feel nauseous. Also, I want to be the one who hangs up first. Bye! Before I can get a word in, Moth flashes me a cheeky grin and ends the call. Well then, I guess it's breakfast to go? With a smile, Ren eagerly nods his head. I just don't get it. I know that he's supposed to be a stalker, but he's so sweet. He's been so sweet and so nice so far. I have seen no red flags. Or maybe all the flags look red if I'm wearing rose-colored glasses. So I just ignore them. The salty aroma of the sea is the first thing I notice before a large ferry boat comes into view. Ren becomes a temporary second thought the moment I realize who might be on that ship, and I hurriedly make my way towards the dock where Moth is waiting. Angel! Moth! Angel! Moth! Almost immediately, Moth run towards me with outstretched arms before pulling me into a warm hug. Their excitement is almost palpable as they laugh in my ear and give me the tightest squeeze I've ever experienced. They nearly sweep me off my feet, too, had it not been for the potential safety hazards of swinging someone around on a slippery dock. Man, I couldn't wait to get off that thing. Never again am I going to ride on a ferry. Ever. Ever. But oh my god, you're actually here. You're real. And you're taller than I expected, too. And whoa, I love your outfit. Must be the shoes. It's Moth! I have to get a similar pair of... Holy crap! Is that... You're joking. You're actually joking. Is this real? No way. The real-life Haruko standing before my eyes right now. Following Moth's gaze, I notice Ren sheepishly walk up to the both of us and stand by my side. He doesn't seem to greet Moth in any way, but just as I turn around to fully face him, Ren removes a hand from his pocket and gives a shy wave. I guess I've gotten so used to Ren being more forward around me that I almost forgot about his reserved side. It's nice to meet you, again. And I get that a lot. It must be my shoes as well? Yeah, the shoes. Moth, you haven't even looked down yet. Do I need to? Everything I need is right here in front of me, and... Crap, did I say that out loud? Whatever, doesn't matter, you can't blame me when I got the real-life Haruko standing in front of me right now. Where'd you get your hair done? Can you save me from a giant? Do you need a spouse? God, I've seen what you've done for others. Moth! I've never seen them so animated before. It was almost hard to believe that this was the same moth who'd always shy away from social situations. Sorry, I'll try to tone it back. Keyword being try here. But for real, though, thanks for coming out and meeting me like this. I know it's really last minute. Not at all. I had nothing planned for today anyway, and I'm glad Ren was willing to tag along. Of course. I like making you happy. Ugh, he really is Haruko. Oh, it's Ren. And I guess, well, apart from the hair, I suppose it's just a major coincidence that Haruko and I happen to act the same. It's one of the reasons why he's my favorite character, actually. It's hard to miss the way Ren looks at me when he mentions Haruko as his favorite, but it happens all too quickly that I fear it was just a trick of my imagination. Yeah, I like him because he's hot. Plus, he whimpers and pouts in the most cutest way whenever he's upset. I almost laugh at the way Ren's eyes widen at Moth's words. Also, have you seen him in the latest episode? I swear the animators knew what they were doing when they ripped his uniform. Wait, I haven't seen it yet. Don't spoil it. Oh? Crap, sorry, my bad. But hey, if you got the time, why don't we all watch it together later? Sounds like fun, don't you think, Angel? I wasn't expecting Ren to join, but much less witness Moth be so social with someone. Then again, much like me, Moth has been obsessed with Attack on Giants since it first came out, so it made sense for them to be able to gush about it without any restraint. Plus, it was nice to see Moth having fun, so who was I to put a stop to it? Speaking of, did I tell you the reason I'm here in the first place? Well, you know about that one anime convention being held in New Salvis? They were hosting this AOG art contest online, so naturally I joined, and won. So now I get to go to the convention for free, and I get to have a one-on-one time with all the voice actors. I mean, come on, I finally get the chance to talk to the voice actor for Haruko. This is like a dream come true. I wonder if I can get him to say he wants to marry me. Wait, why didn't I know about this? Yeah, now that you mention it, it is kind of strange how you never said anything to me. You must be really busy with work, huh? Work? I guess you could say that. However, with everything that's been happening recently, I'm not entirely sure I can blame my distractions on my job. And I love Attack on Titans. It's weird how I never got any recommendations or ads for the convention online. Huh, so much for personalized feeds. Well, don't worry about it too much. I'll be sure to buy you all the Haruko charms I can find. I mean, I still owe you, don't I? Besides, this convention isn't until tomorrow, and we've still got an entire day to kill. Didn't you once say you wanted to show me some of the sights here? Aw, you remembered. Well, since we're already here, why don't we start with the main beach? Oh, but you don't really like water, do you? Maybe we can just... They don't? Yeah, though it's not really the water that gets to me, it's what's lurking beyond. I will probably, when we finish the day, go back and try some of the other names. See what other little Easter eggies. Unknown creatures, ships and planes that go missing for no reason, endless depths that have yet to be explored. Yeah, nope, not for me. Oh, and I almost drowned as a kid. What? Unfortunately for you, you'll need to unlock my level 80 friendship to hear that one. Nice. I like that touch. Now, what did you say about a beach? After what happens in the latest episode, I hope I get to see Wow. I hope I get to see Haruko's glorious butt imprint in the sand. Please don't look at me when you say that. Hey, Moth. Chill. A little bit. Okay. Thank you, Luna. Also, Moth. A little bit of space between, you and my potential boyfriend. Like, just a little. Bit of a walk, huh? From the ferry terminal? Yeah, it's not far from my place, though. Wait, for real? You live around here? See that building over there? The tall one? Ren quickly moves out of the way as Moth squints in the direction I'm pointing at. Takes them a moment, but their eyes finally land on one building in particular before they turn to me with a concerned look. The one with the ratty sign that's about to fall off its hinges? Yeah. That one? Oh. It's, nice? Not too shabby, but dang, it's really close to the beach, huh? Bet you'd get a good view of the ocean from up there. Actually, the main street blocks my... Angel? And Ron, right? Hey, hey, hey. A familiar voice calls out from somewhere behind us before Jay emerges on one of the buildings and jogs towards us with a bounce in his step. It's Ren. Ah, crap, sorry. So it's Ren, huh? Ren. Alright, that's stored in my brain. I could have sworn I heard Leon call you Ron, though. But it's nice to finally put the name to the face. You weren't what I was expecting, to be honest. But that's not important right now. What are you guys doing out here so early? I thought you had work today, Angel. I actually got the day off today. My boss said something about bookworms, I think. So I'm spending the day showing my friend Moth around Corlin Bay. They're new here. Now that you mention it, yeah, your friend does kind of have that touristy look about him. Neither one of those two look thrilled that you're here, Jay. Sorry. Oh, that reminds me, I need to look at the map. I'm exploding the ocean with my mind, looking for more MMOs. If lost, please return me to Angel Haruko. Yeah, I like it. Remember to turn your books on time. Maple. Oh no! Tio's planning to go to the city today. Don't come to the city. Don't even come near me. Stay away, Tio. You're not my friend. So your name is Moth, huh? That's such a cool name. I'm Jae Hyun. Feel free to call me Jay, though. That's so much easier to remember, huh? Though I totally won't blame you guys if you start calling me Joe or something. I mean, think about it. Ron and Joe, an unlikely duo on the hunt for mere hair dye. Hair dye? Yeesh, tough crowd today. Right. I'd almost forgotten how shy Moth gets around people they don't know. Unlike talking to strangers online, there's no safety or comfort in having a screen to hide behind in real life. Meow apostrophe. Froggy dacted. Part of me wonders if this might be the reason why they seem so out of place right now. But this isn't the time to ask. And I didn't want to make Moth feel any more uncomfortable than they already were. So, you guys headed to the beach too? I heard the swell is going to be good today. We are, actually. I wanted to show Moth the infamous Giant's Cove. Nice. Here's hoping there won't be too many tourists there today. Still early, so maybe they're all... Oh, wait. Are you going dressed like that? Like what? Come on, two of you are wearing jeans, the other two has sweaters on. That's totally not beach apparel. If you want, I've got a spare of swim trunks in my bag that you can borrow for the day. Why don't I buy us some swimsuits instead? There's a beach stand just over there. Oh, you don't have to. Besides, I don't think Moth would want to go too deep into the water. It's fine, I won't be long. And he's gone. Before I can respond, Ren is already bounding towards the nearby stall to pick out some swimsuits, leaving me alone with Moth and Jay. Oh my god, ballsack. Really? I mean, I'll try it. That's an interesting name. Well, then. He must be real excited about visiting the cove too, huh? Well, if you guys are going to try out surfing later, come and find me. I'll be hanging out here all day. Tio and Leon might even show up later if you want to meet even more of Angel's totally cool and handsome friends. I couldn't help but playfully roll my eyes at Jay's antics. I think we'll pass, but you're heading to the beach already? Oh, you want me to stay? Aw, shucks, Angel. Never mind, see ya. With a gentle shove, I usher Jay in the direction of the beach with a smile. His boisterous laughter slowly fades off as he waves goodbye to Moth and me. It's nice meeting you, Moth. Tell Ren I said bye. He's really nice. He is. What kind of swimsuit is Ren gonna pick out for me? In the end, I find myself listening to Moth lore dump about an anime while we wait for Ren to return. And when he does, he comes back with a bunch of bathing suits, towels, and a beach bag bundled up in his arms. He wastes no time in handing me a swimsuit, and before I can tell what's happening, he's already ushering me towards a changing stall and promising to watch the door from outside. A small part of my brain picks up on the fact that the swimsuit is in my exact size, but I put it on the back burner for now so I can focus on changing out of my regular clothes. When I look at all the items Ren got me, I notice that Oh, good. I was wondering if it was going to be like, if it was going to ask, like, is it a bikini? Is it a one piece? That's nice. I think I want to see Ren flustered. So I think we're going to show skin. The design on the front somewhat resembles my casual aesthetic, and it makes me wonder if that was the reason why Ren intentionally picked it out for me. However, another part of me wonders if he only picked the swimsuit because it shows off some of my legs. Only some? What kind of swimsuit are you wearing? Huh. I know what you are, Ren. I can still hear Moth moving about in the stall next to me, alongside the rustling of fabric and a few expletives. So I take my time changing, but it doesn't take long before I'm fully dressed and ready to throw myself into the ocean. As if to kill time and give everyone else a few more minutes to get dressed, I stuff my regular clothes into my bag extra slowly and swing open the door, only to find Ren still waiting for me on the other side. Hey, where's your swimsuit? All done? That was quick. Guess it's my turn now, huh? It's then that I noticed that there were only 2 stalls available and that Ren really was taking his guarding job seriously. Okay, now I have to play the NSFW version. Ready? Okay. He can come in. You can come in. I'm actually not quite done yet. Did you want to share my stall? Almost immediately, Ren's cheeks turn a bright shade of red as he practically chokes on his own spit. What? Oh, that's a wasted opportunity. Dang. 100% wasted opportunity. Come on now. Join you. Are you serious? Are you sure? I can wait outside until you're done. I don't mind. Really. Besides, that stall probably won't fit the both of us. I'd be... Oh, for Haruko's sake, just use her stall. Moth's word catch us both off guard before Ren turns his gaze back towards me and pairs it with a sheep smile. Figuring that his timidness was holding him back from taking the initiative, I move to the side and silently beckon him closer with a wave of my hand. I don't think... Wait. Girl, I don't care. Moth can listen in all she wants. Moth seems the type that would be like ear pressed to the other stall, like listening in. I can't remember. Have we kissed him, right? When he came over to our house and we were watching a show? I feel like we did. And almost shyly, Ren stumbles forward and tries his best to squeeze inside the stall without disrupting me, despite his large frame. As if to offer him some sort of comfort and breathing room, I give Ren a reassuring smile and turn my back. Don't worry, I won't look. Lies. Dang it! I gotta play the NSFW version. I wouldn't mind if you did. Oh, you don't know what you're asking, sir. What was that? I said I won't look either, so don't mind me. I can still hear you two, you know. Hi, Moth. Yeah, whatever. You guys better hurry up. I'm almost done here. We haven't seen him without, like, his cardigan and shirt, so I'm curious to see what swimsuit he'll be wearing. The walk to the beach is nothing short of eventful, and soon enough, we find ourselves at the entrance of the infamous Giant's Cove. Moth can barely contain their excitement as they take in the familiar scenery before them, and I don't miss the way they start to babble about the striking similarities between the beach scene from AOG and the current scene laid out before them. Dude, don't. Trust me. Like, I'm stoked to play it. If, like, as soon as I get a moment, you best believe I will play through this every single chapter that is out so far. Hell, I played the kid at the back NSFW. That's the only way that I played through the regular version and I was like, oh, come on, Soul's not that bad. And then I played the NSFW version, so I was like, okay, maybe he is a little bad. But I won't spoil anything. I've already visited this cove enough times for the excitement to wear off, but watching Moth have the time of their life right now only seems to hype me up even more. When I look back at Ren to see whether he was feeling the same, I find that he's already staring straight at me with a soft look in his eyes. Boy is so in love. He reaches a hand out to me, but just as he's about to say something, Moth cuts him off. Oh, come on! Dang it. I wanted to see him shirtless. I know there's a reason we can't. I know, like, we see the, like, tips of black peeking up here. I swear he's got a tattoo, and he's just not showing us because it doesn't fit his persona. But I want to see. They actually built a monument for Attack on Titans here? That's so cool. Oh, we should take a photo to commemorate. Oh, I keep bumping my mic. I'm sorry. Here. In a blur, Moth excitedly shoves their phone into Ren's hand and tugs me toward the stone statue made in Haruko's likeness. One of their arms hooks over my shoulder to pull me closer to their side, and I can feel their smile grow the moment they press their cheek next to mine. Ren, however, seems to have a bout of confusion as he takes in the scene in front of him, before he snaps out of his daze and lifts Moth's phone to take a photo. The camera flashes every time he takes a picture, but after the 7th flash, Moth decides that's enough and signals for their phone back. Oh, let's see the results. When I peer over Moth's shoulder, I see that the photos Ren took were actually kind of bad. Although the statue and I were perfectly in the frame, Moth seemed to be cut out entirely, with the only arm around my shoulder making the shot. Hey, what about me? You're right there, see? My arm, you mean? Yeah, that doesn't count. Here, take another one. Ooh, he's not happy. This time, Moth curls their arm around my waist and leans closer to my side. I don't miss the way Ren's eyes widen, nor the way he takes a second to look to take the photo, but I chalk it up to him being surprised at Moth's sudden clinginess. Yes, that multiple times. Well, okay, so I guess one was technically multiple times in your bedroom. Only one in your... Two in your bed. One on the floor next to your bed, I know for sure. But there might be 2 in your bed. It's, whew. It was, whew. Was he jealous because we didn't have any pictures like these of our own? Before I can think about it further, Ren's voice grabs my attention. There. Better? When Ren hands the phone back to Moth, they hunch over the screen and look over everything with a critical eye. It's almost comical watching them zoom in and out to scrutinize every little detail, but I figured it'd be best to leave them to their own devices once I see them open up a photo editing app. No doubt to cover our faces with AOG stickers before they share it in their family group chat to boast. Turning to my side, I look at Ren with a teasing expression. What about you, Buttercup? Uh-huh. Don't you want a photo to commemorate this moment as well? Without waiting for a response, I playfully pull Ren's phone from his pocket. Girl, you're getting a little handsy. And aim it at my pink-haired companion. Selfie! I see that. See that right there? I see that. Ren immediately covers part of his face with his hand, but quickly realizes that he isn't wearing his thick cardigan, so the sleeves of his rash guard hardly do much to hide his growing embarrassment. Yes, indeed. Look at this man. He's so cute. He seems almost camera shy with the way he turns away from me with a soft blush on his cheeks, though he doesn't complain when I start to take a few pictures of my own. In fact, Ren appears to revel in all the attention I'm giving him, the way he indulges in my request with a warm smile. Feeling a sudden surge of confidence, I reach out my hand expectantly and gesture for Ren to place his cheek against it. Tell me there's a CG of that. Tell me. He wastes no time in leaning down, pressing his face against my hand, and nuzzling into my touch. Ren almost looks like a cute puppy like this, and I find myself taking a few more pictures to savor the tender moment. Though, admittedly, the eye contact he's giving the camera feels a bit intimate, but I brush it aside for the sake of my rapid heartbeat. If I send these to you, will you make it your lock screen? Oh, come on! I wanted to see his cheek in our hand. Damn it! Ren, can you come here for a second? I need you to compare hairstyles with the statue. My brother thinks Haruko's hair isn't fluffy enough, but... I stifle my laughter at Ren's confused look as Moth continues to rant while they tug him towards the Haruko statue. I look away the moment they ask him to start posing, and it's then that I realize I still have his phone in my hands. But just as I move to return it to its rightful owner, the screen immediately lights up and starts to vibrate. Perhaps it's muscle memory kicking in from all the times my own phone would go off, but I find myself unconsciously lifting it up to look at the screen before realizing what I had just done. What did you do? Everything is back to normal again, and it's weird. Who did you offer... Excuse me? What is this? Crap, what exactly are you doing right now, Angel? I shouldn't be reading through someone else's private notifications like this, and yet I couldn't help but feel... I feel weirded out. Ask Ren to leave us alone? No, fuck that. I feel fine. Hang out with Ren. I like Ren. I have no issues. Hang out. What was I thinking? Reading private messages like this? Ren didn't deserve to have his privacy disregarded like this. With a resolute nod, I make my way towards the group and call for Ren's attention. Angel, sorry, did you want to take more photos as well? Here, I'll move out of the way. Actually, I was thinking about heading to the manga store to check out some of the new merch. Do you want to join us? Oh, and here's your phone. That sounds like a good idea. Here, I'll go get our bags while you finish taking photos. Let me know when you're ready to go. I get that he's supposed to be a stalker, but so far, I'm just not seeing any problems. I don't see any issues so far. Almost like a puppy, Ren bounds off towards our belongings and starts to pack them up with a blissful smile on his face. Man, he really is just like Haruko. Ugh, I want him to turn into a sticky hand just so I can repeatedly throw him against a wall over and over again. Oh my god, I didn't get that at first. I was like, why would you want to throw him against... And then I got it. Got it. Throw him against the wall. Yeah, me too, girl. Me too. Pfft, your levels of cuteness aggression genuinely terrify me sometimes. The sounds of lively chatter and vehicles driving by grow louder as we make our way towards the main street. Strange. Everything seems so busy and chaotic today. Was there some kind of event going on? I doubt it, considering Eleanor and I were both in charge of keeping the library's community board up to date. I would have known if there was an event happening. Oh, come on. Ah! I need to play that version. I need to just, like, create a Fansly account so I can play all the NSFW games I want to play and not have to worry about, like, getting, like, TOS'd. Uh-oh. Music change. But before I can dwell on it any longer, I suddenly find myself being thrust forward and onto the road by an unknown force before Ren reaches out a hand to pull me back. Once the initial shock wears off and I gather my bearings, I whip my head around to figure out what or who tried to push me. But it proves difficult with Ren's large frame blocking my view, so I remove his hand from my shoulder and sidestep around him. Oh! Uh-oh. When I do, I come face to face with a dark, hooded... I'm trying to, like... I know that it's specifically made so that you can't see who it is, but I am, like peering at them like, who is this? I come face to face with a dark, hooded figure who doesn't even bother to acknowledge our existence. What the... This loser really tried to push me into oncoming traffic and walked off as if nothing happened. Wait. Was this the person Violet was talking about? The tall build, the hooded jacket, the only thing that's missing is the crazy amount of belts on their leg. So this is my stalker? I have half a mind to just pull down their mask and hoodie to expose their identity, but I didn't want to cause a scene or make matters worse. Ren, however, seems to have other plans. Before I can react, he surges towards the hooded stranger with a nasty scowl on his face. What's your problem? Not even gonna apologize? When no response comes, Ren reaches for their shoulder to get their attention. All it does is cause them to turn around slightly before they shrug it off and break into a sprint. Everything happens in a blur, and just as the smudge of black fades from my view, Ren's pink hair replaces it as he gently grips my arm to ground me. Are you alright? Did they hurt you? Concern and worry couldn't even begin to describe the range of emotions present on his face. Ren peers even closer when I don't respond to his questioning, and in that moment, I find myself too stunned to speak. All of my attention goes towards the warmth radiating from his sudden closeness and the soft blue eyes peering into mine with so much worry. I'm gonna have to save. I'm gonna have to save at different points because I want to see like if I can get it on my own, and then if I can, I need to see this man with no. Well, okay. Do we actually get to see it, or does he just tell you why? Because I want to see it. I want to see what he's hiding under this cardigan and whatever that kind of shirt is called. Turtleneck. That's what it's called. Turtleneck. Oh, he just tells you. Dang. I want to see it. Curses. All of my attention goes towards the warmth radiating from his sudden closeness and the soft, blue eyes peering into mine with so much worry. I can feel Ren's fingers press deeper into my shoulders, not enough to hurt me, but present enough to anchor me, as he pulls me even closer towards his chest. I feel safe being surrounded by his concerned presence, and it was nice to know that he cared so much for my well-being, so much so that he'd willingly pick a fight with some stranger for a simple apology. But the moment only lasts for so long before I realize that he's trying to get me to respond. Angel? What's wrong? You okay, eh? Do you know them or something? No, and I'm fine. They scared me is all. This has never happened to me before. You sure you're fine? You're still shaking. Yes, hold me, Ren. I'm terrified. Please, just hold me in your arms. It's a lie. Oh, I still think he's got some sort of crazy tattoo because you can kind of see it, and I feel like that's very important. Want to sit down? Should I call the cops or something? I can barely hear Moth's words over the rapid sounds of my heart beating and the ringing in my ears. I wasn't able to see that person's face because of their mask, but their scent. I could recognize that smell anywhere. It was something unmistakably earthy and muddy, and it felt oddly familiar in some way. Before I can let my thoughts travel any further, I notice my friends are still staring at me with concerned looks. Not wanting them to worry, I mask my fear with a determined glint in my eye and try to ease the mood. Maybe we should just head home instead? Sure, but are you sure you're all right? You still seem a bit dazed, Angel. Yeah, I'm fine. We should probably get off the street, though. I suppose peak hour is starting soon. That might explain why they were in such a rush. Still, it wouldn't hurt to apologize for bumping into someone. Well, whatever. You said you wanted to head home? She did. So, where did you want to go, Angel? If you'd like, we can go to my apartment. It's not far from here. But you already know that, don't you? Or we can go back to your place, if you prefer. Saving. I saw there was a choice and I had to. Let's go to Ren's place. I like his place. Somehow, I felt a lot more comfortable going back to Ren's apartment instead of my own. I don't want to risk Moth's safety either, so I try my best to convince myself that this really is a good idea after all. Aw, damn, I'll have to go back and choose the other one. With a resolute nod of my head, I turned to Ren with a meek smile. Would it be alright if we go to your apartment? Yeah, of course. It's totally fine. It's not far from here anyway. Moth still seems a bit peeved by the person who bumped into me, but they still nod their head at my question. Alright then, let's go. Damn. Soon we all arrive at Ren's apartment. The elevator ride to his floor is just as slow and tacky as last time. Yet, Moth doesn't seem to mind it in the slightest. In fact, they seem to be wholly engrossed with their surroundings, much like I had been the very first time I visited Ren's place. Stepping inside, I notice that my slippers from last time were waiting by the door, and the sight alone sends a wave of appreciation through my body. Did Ren leave them out for me? As cheesy as it sounds, it almost feels like coming home to my own apartment. He did offer that we could stay with him. I don't know why we didn't take the offer, but it's Moth's awestruck voice that pulls me back to the present, and I watch in silence as they take in the scene before them. Funny, was this how I looked when I first arrived here? Oh my god. What kind of entryway is this? And is that marble flooring? Dude, you can afford this much marble? I didn't buy it. It came with the apartment. And so did the rest of the furniture. Or most of it. That's a whole lot of marble. I actually said the same thing. Right? Look at all this. It's just marble? Jeez, I guess I skipped the episode where Haruko became a millionaire. Like I said, I'm not Haruko, I'm Ren. Are those Duchi slippers? Duchi. Since when could you afford those? These? They belong to Ren. He let me borrow them the first time I came here. Oh, are there any spare slippers for Moth too? I'll have a look. You have more than one pair? Crap. Sorry, I probably shouldn't be so loud, huh? You're fine. Ren doesn't have any neighbors. Or at least he didn't until recently, I think. Sure sounds like you're really used to living here, huh? So when are you moving in? Oh, no. Now that I think about it, the idea is rather tempting. Ren already seems fine with the idea of being my boyfriend. Surely he'd enjoy being my roommate, too. You have no idea. But before I can get carried away with these fantasies, I remind myself why I'm purposely trying to distance myself from Ren in the first place. I didn't want him to get involved with my personal problems, nor did I want to give him my stalker any more ammunition to use against me. In fact, look at all this space. If you won't live here, I will. How many rooms are there? How many kitchens does this place have? Is there a cinema room? Oh, what about here? Try and see if these fit you. Ren's voice cuts Moth off as he throws a pair of shoes onto the ground. Oh, they're a little tight around the toes, but comfy. That's too bad. I don't have any other sizes. They look like they might fit me better. Actually, here, want to swap? Moth's slippers definitely appear smaller than the pair I'm currently wearing, but they didn't look too uncomfortable. That much is evident when we swap, and Moth seems to be feeling all the more better in a large pair of slippers, if their wide, appreciative smile is with anything to go by. You don't mind? Not at all. Actually, maybe I do have another pair that'll fit you better, eh? Here, I'll go and check again. It's cool, Ren. Don't worry about it. As we make our way into the living room, Moth suggests ordering takeout so that we can eat while catching up on the recent episodes of Attack on Giant. It's almost comedic watching Ren and Moth huddle over a phone to look through the menu, and I nearly end up letting a laugh slip through when they start bickering over the meal deals not actually being that good of a deal. What a surprise! A food place that tells you what the deals are that actually aren't really that good of deals. Wouldn't know what that's like. Leaving the two of them to their own devices, I plop onto the couch with a sigh and absent-mindedly clutch one of the throw pillows. Odd. I swear I have the exact same cushions on my couch back at home. Did Ren and I always have the same taste in decor? And since when did Ren start decorating his apartment? Last I checked, everything in here came pre-furnished, tacky decor and all. Before I can get too deep in my thoughts, Moth and Ren join me on the couch once more to fill me in on what they ordered, and what they got for me as well. Moth seems all too happy to talk about the fried rice dish they ordered, before rambling on about how most fast food joints never usually have it in stock, all while Ren gets his television set up for us. Next thing I know, we're almost 2 episodes deep until our food arrives. It takes another three more before we're all finished with our meals, and soon enough, Moth is relaxing on the floor with a bunch of pillows surrounding them while Ren and I remain on the couch. Here we go! It's finally beach episode time! You guys have to see the outfit the animators put him in. It wasn't in the manga, but I still think it's cool. Wait, we should turn off the lights for maximum effect. Moth's voice fills the silence as they get up, flip off the light switch, and start to pump themselves up for the opening song. Yet my mind can't help but wander towards today's events. I still couldn't shake off the encounter from earlier, or the fact that I now had solid proof of a stalker who wouldn't leave me alone. Still, going to Ren's place was definitely a smart idea. There's an entire team of security personnel down in the reception, and you need a specific key card to make it past the first floor. Now knowing this, I wouldn't have to worry about Moth's safety as much, and for some reason, well, I don't know why, but I always seem to feel a lot better whenever Ren is around. Speaking of... I cast a sneaky glance in Ren's direction, only to find him sprawled out on the couch. He'd offered to share his blanket earlier, after I offered mine to Moth, and I couldn't help but notice how much of it he'd given to me. In fact, only half of his leg was covered, and with the winter right around the corner, I was worried he was too shy to admit that he was feeling cold. Without thinking, I lean over and gently drape a portion of the blanket across Ren's lap in an attempt to offer him some warmth. But as I do, my hand inadvertently brushes against the back of his, and it's then that I notice just how cold his skin feels. A surge of concern washes over me, and I have half a mind to reach out to grasp his hands in my own. But Ren's immediate reaction keeps me rooted in place. Almost unashamedly, his gaze shifts towards me before he sends me a curious look, and when he finally speaks, his voice is barely above a whisper, almost getting drowned out by the noise coming from the television. It's okay, Angel. You can have it. I'm not the one with frozen hands. What kind of woman would I be if I let my boyfriend's hands go cold? Not giving Ren any time to respond, I reach out and gently cup his freezing hands in my own. But your hands are cold too. Shh! Ren! We both glance in Moth's direction for any signs of disruptions, but they seem far too engrossed with whatever's happening on the television to fully turn around. You're cold. I should have noticed earlier. Here, I'll go turn up the heater. No, it's okay. Here, why don't we... Oh, hell yeah, we're snuggling. Absolutely snuggling. Eleanor once told me it's more efficient to stay warm by sharing body heat. Why don't we sit a bit closer? Closer? Yeah, sure. Okay. Seriously, Ren. Quiet. Without missing a beat, I throw a blanket over our shoulders and scoot closer to Ren until my arms and thighs are brushed up against his. But Ren takes it a step further by pulling my legs over his lap and resting one of his hands over to my knee to prevent them from falling. And just as I dare to take a glance in his direction, Moth chooses, now of all times, to turn around to talk to us. Finally, we get to see Haruko. I doubt they realize what Ren and I were currently doing in the dark. In fact, Moth seems all too engrossed with the TV as Haruko's grand entrance flashes on the screen. Yet I couldn't help but let my mind wander towards Ren. Being this close to him, I can practically feel the warmth radiate from his body, yet all I can focus on is the way his thumb rubs small circles on my knee, while his other hand plays with the loose material of my bottoms. Almost daringly, I sneak a glance in his direction, only to find him staring at me with a gentle expression in return. Kiss him, kiss him, kiss him. I thought you wanted to watch the beach episode. I am. TV is that way. With a teasing smile, Ren points towards the television, though the look in his eyes practically challenges me to look away. Okay, here we go. We're going to the beach episode. Going to the beach now. There on the television in all its glory is the iconic Giant's Grove we visited earlier today, and Moth can barely contain their excitement. Oh my god, look! There's the massive rock arch we saw. Dang, they really did take a whole lot of inspiration from Corlin Bay. They're not shy with the way they languidly flop over on the carpet and pull one of the cushions to their chest to get more comfortable. But the moment is fleeting as Haruko soon appears on the screen in a magical pink flurry. Almost instantly, Moth rolls onto their stomach instead, kicking their legs and practically melting over the sight of Haruko in a swimsuit. His muscles, look! Oh, I yearn to look the crevices of his... Okay. Suppressing a laugh, I glance at Ren, who seems to be sporting a worried, yet just as flushed look on his features. And here I thought your fondness for Haruko was unmatched. Those are some big words coming from someone who's rocking the same hairstyle as him. What does that mean? Hey, what are you two whispering about over there? Kiss him, kiss him, kiss him. We're just wondering if Haruko's outfit is going to... Angel? Deciding to see just how far I can take things, I practically situate myself in Ren's lap without another word, and judging by his outburst, I know I don't need to turn around to see how red his cheeks are. Ah, dang. Jeez, you just can't keep your hands off your boyfriend, huh? Though if I had a partner who vaguely looked like Haruko, I'd probably be the same. Yeah, I'd do the exact same, actually. Well, whatever, you two can get all cozy over there, just try not to hit me with your feet. I can feel Ren's legs move from under me, almost as if he wanted to go through with Moth's threat, before he ultimately reconsiders. Instead, he wraps his arm around my waist and nuzzles his head into the crook of my neck. This is just trying to keep warm, right? Is it working? I think you need to be closer. I don't think that's physically possible, Ren. It was true. I was basically ensnared by his lanky limbs, with barely any room left to move around. With the way Ren's arms were circled around my waist, and how his thighs caged my own on either side, I could do very little except sit there and try to focus on the screen. In the end, we all blazed through the latest episode of Attack on Giant, and even a few MeTube theory videos before the events of the day slowly started to catch up to us. Moth was the first to let out a yawn, and eventually the rest of us fell victim to it as well. I didn't want to leave the warmth of Ren's body, but the thought of a comfy bed with plenty of legroom was calling my name. And before I knew it, Ren is already showing us to our rooms with a bright smile on his face. before he leaves Moth and I alone to decompress. As I step into my own room, I notice that it's just as gaudy and extravagant as the rest of the apartment, furnished with the most ornate decor and bold color choices I've ever seen. But just when I think couldn't get any worse, I survey the rest of the room and come face to face with the most unfortunate revelation. It didn't come with its own bathroom. Dang it. With a grumble, I step back into the dark hallway, borrowed toothbrush and clothes in hand, and prepare myself for the inevitability of getting lost in Ren's endless maze of an apartment. All this for a single bathroom. I have no doubt that this place has at least 4 restrooms, but the chances of me finding even one seems laughable. Stumbling around yet another corner, I come across Moth hunched in front of a door with a frown on their face. Moth? Whoa. Sorry, were you looking for the restroom too? Nah, my room is a private ensuite. I'm actually looking for something else. A private what? Where was mine? I'm looking for Ren's cosplay room. His... Wait, hold on a second. Are you snooping? Moth! Shh, I'm not snooping. I'm just trying to find where he keeps all of his Attack on Giants merch. I'm sure a small peek won't hurt. I watch as Moth reaches for the door once more, only to be met with an audible click and a stiff handle. Oh? Dang, locked. Well, what did you expect? Maybe he has a spare key somewhere? You're not seriously thinking of going through his stuff. And never mind that, this place doesn't use physical keys anyway. You have to use a key card to access everything. Ren explained it to me a while ago. So, does that mean you have one? I'm not going to snoop through his stuff. You won't. But what if I do? Moth. Angel. Come on, what if he's one of the lucky people who got Haruko's limited edition sword? You're seriously not interested? Even the slightest bit? Okay, so maybe I was just a little tiny, minuscule bit curious, but that spark of interest didn't justify breaking into a locked room without the other person's knowledge. Have a nice nap, Jess. Sleep well. The music is calming. Unless I get myself killed here in a minute. And while it technically wouldn't be breaking in if I used a keycard to unlock the door, Ren still trusted me enough to give me one. Not Moth, me. Look, instead of breaking in, why don't you go and ask Ren first? I'm sure he wouldn't mind giving you the full tour of his collection. If he even has one. You got a point. Man, why didn't I think about that? Think about what? All of a sudden, Ren appears from behind one of the dark hallways and scares the living crap out of us. Whoa! Hey! Pookie Wookie! We were just... Moth wanted to look at your Haruko collection. What? Hey! My... In that room? Why would I... Oh! Well, this is a bit embarrassing, but that room isn't... It's not finished yet. It's a mess. A mess? What was he talking about? Once it's more presentable, I'll be sure to invite you back and give you the full tour. Right. Sorry. Nothing to be sorry about. He is truly the real-life embodiment of Haruko. And, wait, didn't he have a line similar to that in the manga? Moth must have been on the same wavelength as me, since their mood immediately shifts from embarrassment to excitement, before they shoot me a look as if to say, you heard that too, right? But before I can respond, Ren cuts me off with a timid laugh. Anyway, was there anything else you needed? A was looking for the bathroom earlier. She needed to pee so badly. Hey! Oh, but calling me out for wanting to see his Haruko collection was fine, huh? The bathroom? Of course, it's just down the hall near the kitchen. Here, I can show you. Follow me. Leaving Moth to their own devices, I quickly catch up to Ren and follow him down the hallway. Soon enough, the events of the day slowly catches up and leaves me feeling tired and drained. Man, today had been a lot, huh? But just as I settle into bed, I hear a faint knock coming from the door. Was it Ren? I let out a faint, "Come in," and wait for my visitor to emerge. To my surprise, it's Moth that appears from behind the door with a sheepish smile on their face. Hey, I didn't wake you, did I? Sorry, I just find it hard to fall asleep when everything is quiet. I'm used to my younger siblings bickering in the room next door, or hearing someone playing video games downstairs. Do you mind if can I chill with you for a while? I promise I'll sleep in my own bed later. Without missing a beat, I lift the covers and pat the spot next to me, and with a relieved smile, Moth crawls into the bed and lets out a faint hum once they sink into the mattress. They seem content lying on their back, so I do the same, look up at the ceiling. The silence that follows is momentary, seeing as Moth soon speaks once more. Only this time their voice is much softer than before. Thanks for today, eh? No one's really gone out of their way to make me feel so included? Seen? I'm not really sure what word I'm trying to look for, but I really appreciate everything you've done. You of all people know that I don't have many friends, and I've probably been a jerk to Jay earlier, but I want you to know that I think he's really cool. I have trouble talking to people, but I'm glad I could get along with you and Ren this easily. Oh yeah, you didn't seem to have any trouble talking with Ren. Probably because his personality reminds me so much of Haruko. Though, I didn't think the whole light academia fashion would suit him, but weirdly enough, it kinda does. Honestly, it's like Ren walked straight out of my dreams or something. I mean, he's practically a walking amalgamation of all my recent interests. Must be all that manifesting you've been doing in our DMs. Oh, please, manifesting? I think you're the one who's been doing that. I mean, you always ask for Haruko to be real, and look what happened. Ah, true, but I distinctly recall asking for him to be my husband as well. I guess whoever was listening missed that part. Manifest harder? Moth can't seem to contain their laughter at my words, and they end up clamping a hand over their mouth to silence their sounds, lest they wake up Ren. The corner of their eyes crinkle as they turn to look at me with a smile, and I find myself mirroring their expression. Good night, Angel. Thanks for today. Night, Moth. At that, they roll onto their back once more and pull the covers up to their chin. The silence returns once more, and I'm left to stew in my own thoughts. Today had honestly been a lot of fun. Plus, it was nice to know that Moth enjoyed themselves this much. I have no doubt that I'll be sad once they leave for the city tomorrow, but I didn't want to ruin this moment with my sappy feelings. With one last smile, I turn on my side and slowly drift off to sleep. Don't be the end! No, don't be the end! No! Damn it! I need more! More! Okay, hold on. We gotta go back. We gotta go back to our save and go to our place now and see if we can figure out why, and see what else happens. See what the difference is. My apartment might be best. It's not far from here either. Purely on the happenstance of that loser being my stalker, I'm sure they wouldn't have the guts to try anything while I still had company over. And somehow having Moth and Ren nearby seems to boost my confidence, so I boldly commit to my decision with a nod of my head. Is that fine with you guys? Yeah, of course it's fine. Moth still seems a bit peeved by the person who bumped into me, but they still nod their head at my question. Alright then, let's go. I'm hoping this is like a really long one. Like, I'm hoping there's like 10 days. I'm not sure who exactly suggested it, but once we settle into my apartment, we all find ourselves huddled in the kitchen with a recipe pulled up on Run's phone. It was by some miracle that we had all the necessary ingredients in my pantry, though the only thing missing was a tablespoon of sugar. Helps the medicine go down. Yeah, 1 single tablespoon. It's fine. I doubt it tastes any different whether or not we add sugar. But the recipe calls for sugar. I'm sure the recipe will continue to live a long and prosperous life without it. Didn't you read the chef's family story? The sugar is mandatory. I honestly skipped over it. Ren genuinely looks heartbroken at the prospect of Moth skipping past the long-winded story about how the recipe had been passed down from generation to generation. Or so I assumed. And I had to admit, the sight was kind of funny. But the bickering could only go on for so long before it started to become something more serious. It's fine, Ren. Besides, we'd only waste time going to the store just to buy some. I can get some delivered here, and what if Angel needs sugar for something else later? She'd have to go out of her way to buy it. We'd save some time by doing it now. But we'd still have to wait, and it's just a tablespoon. It's not just a Alright, look, we shouldn't be arguing over this. Once I speak up, the two of them immediately pipe down. I catch a glimpse of Moth rolling their eyes at Ren's reaction, which was to stiffen his lip, pick at his jaw, and look down at his feet. Well then, what do you think we should do? Don't make Angel decide. Why not? It's not like you're gonna agree with me, right? I still think. It's okay. I don't mind. Whether or not that was true, it was too late for me to take it back. What should I do? I feel like I should be following Ren here. I don't know. I don't. Who's to say my neighbors are even home? Ren, we're going with you because you. Yeah, sure, of course. Well, all right. I suppose it might make a difference after all. I've been watching this new cooking anime recently, and I learned that. Oi, Angel! Only ask for sugar. You don't need to buy any croissants. It says that you save more if you spend over $50, and the shipping becomes free as well. Aw, Violet was home. She's crazy. That is absolutely a trap, though. Anytime you go shopping on a website and it's like, oh, you only need to spend like $30 more to save on shipping and handling. And it's like, cool, I'm going to spend $30 to save 10. And yet somehow I still get suckered in with it sometimes. That's a load of horse crap to get you to spend more. Here, let me see. In the end, the two ended up curating an entirely new grocery list for me, which made their entire argument about waiting kind of redundant. With everything settled, we all go back to making dinner. Admittedly, I was a little wary of letting Ren watch the stove, considering how he'd once burnt an entire pan of pancakes, yet he seems to be doing well so far. Moth, however, is all too happy to wash the dishes, which leaves me in charge of dumping the remaining vegetables into the pan while Ren stirs. You know, if you were a vegetable, you'd be a cute cumber. Cringe. Well, if you were a potato, you'd be a sweet one. You think I'm sweet? Ugh, you two are acting like an old married couple now. Gross. Can we get back to the conversation about Ren not knowing the difference between a cucumber and a zucchini? Because it's kind of funny watching him... married? Aw, Ren, you're so cute. Yes, married. It's like he didn't hear a word Moth said. We really look like we're married? Ren, your hand is getting awfully close to the flame. Crap, I didn't notice. You didn't notice? Now that I'm here thinking about it, Ren did have quite a number of strange markings littering parts of his hands. Some look like deep cuts, while others closely resemble inflamed blemishes and burn marks. Did something happen to him in the past? Was that why he wasn't able to feel heat coming from the stove? Before I can ask, Ren seems to notice my inquisitive gaze fixated on his hands and beats me to the punch. Curious? I don't mind telling you. I don't like keeping secrets from you anyway. Really? 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 All you need to do is ask me, Angel. Was he really being genuine right now? If so... Alright then. How'd you get those burn marks? There's a flash of something in Ren's blue eyes as he steps closer and fills the space between us. He effortlessly cages me in between his chest and the flat surface behind me before he leans down and lowers his voice to a hushed whisper that sends a shiver down my spine. You'll have to keep this secret between you and me, okay? It's pretty embarrassing. And no telling your friend, either. Nodding my head, I try my best to focus on Ren's words and ignore the way his unique scent floods my senses, has me unconsciously leaning closer for more. Well, when I was a kid, I went camping with my sister. You have a sister? It was our first time doing something like this, so we didn't have much experience. I guess kid me wanted to prove just how reliable and capable he could be, so I volunteered to start the campfire while my sister pitched the tent. Big mistake. The fire got way out of hand, and before I knew it, the only thing I could feel was the flames scorching my skin and this horrible burning sensation tearing me up. The heat ended up marring most of my arms, and I suffered a lot of nerve damage from it, and now it's left me practically unable to feel most things. And what's worse is that my nerves continue to deteriorate with each passing day, no matter how hard I try to prevent it from happening. It's reached a point where I can barely feel anything at all. As if to prove a point, I hear Ren's hand grip the counter by my side, almost alarmingly tight. But I guess that's why I always like touching you. It's sad, isn't it? Someone who can hardly discern things by touch no matter how hard they try, yet always yearning to see just how much they can still feel. I want to experience everything I can before it all goes away, and you make it possible. Wow. After hearing all that, it makes me want to... I need to save. I don't know. All of the above, please. I think I kind of want to touch his face. I know, like, we're talking about his hand. But I don't want to reach for his chest, although I want to see his chest. I think I will just gently cup his face. Which I wish there was a CG for. He can hardly feel anything in his hands anymore, right? So that means... Without a second thought, I reach for Ren's face and gently cup his cheek. My thumb rubs across his skin, and it's then that I notice all the faint freckles and blemishes that litter his face. Part of me wants to trace them, but I hold back for now. It's much better like this, right? This way you can feel everything? His own eyes widen at my words before I feel him nuzzle his face closer into my hands, an almost pitiful smile at his lips. And had I paid a tiny bit more attention, I would have noticed the tears forming in the corner of his eyes as well. Oh. I don't know. I just don't see any red flags. Anybody else? No? Nobody? Okay, cool. But before I can open my mouth to speak, the soft and intimate moment is abruptly interrupted, leaving my words unvoiced and hanging in the air between us. Dude, watch what you're cooking! No. Nah, none. I see nothing. Suddenly, I'm colorblind. Although dinner ended up being a little toasty, it does little to sour the rest of our evening, despite the slight pout that lingers on Ren's features. We decided to eat in the living room so that we could watch AOG, and eventually we blazed through 14 episodes, and even a few MeTube theory videos, before the events of the day slowly started to catch up to us. Some red flags. No, I'm not going to say that. I don't know. At least in these video games, forget the red flags. I've thrown all the flags out the window. I don't care. I don't care what color the flags are or anything. Moth was the first to let out a yawn, and eventually the rest of us fell victim to it. I didn't want to leave the warmth of my blankets, but someone needed to turn my couch into a temporary bed for Moth to sleep on. Looking back at them, I see that they're already halfway to dreamland, given the way their head was awkwardly thrown over the seat of the recliner with drool peeking out from the corner of their lip. Getting up as quietly as I can, I silently tiptoe towards my bedroom and retrieve a few spare pillows and a blanket. But what I didn't expect was for Ren to follow close behind. Yeah, he can sleep in my bed. Moth, you can take the couch. Ren, you can sleep right next to me. His presence practically startles me, and it takes all my willpower not to yell out in surprise. Had he always been so stealthy? You'd think that with his large and lanky frame, he'd be a little more noisy, right? As if noticing how quiet I've suddenly become, Ren offers to fill the silence. Sorry, I just wanted to see if you need any help. Here, I can carry these for you and help your friend get set up. Did you want to get changed in the meantime? Sleeping in that might be a little uncomfortable. Oh, sure, thanks, but... I can easily distinguish the concern in his voice, but my thoughts were elsewhere at the moment. Can't believe it took me this long to realize, but where was Ren gonna sleep? Ooh, what's the name? Would he mind sharing the bed with me? I mean, we've both been really adamant about Ren being my boyfriend, and he's shown no complaints up until this point. Would he mind? Deciding I won't get my answer by simply thinking about it, I turn my attention back to Ren once more. Did you want to sleep with me tonight? Sleep with you? You mean, like, you know, or did you mean... I was talking about sharing a bed with me, you dork. Oh, right. Yeah, yes. That's fine. I don't mind. But what about you? Are you really okay with that? Let him sleep outside? No, we wouldn't do that. That'd be terrible. Yeah, why wouldn't I be? You're my boyfriend, aren't you? Yes. Oh my gosh, the face. Yeah. I should... Oh, I'll bring this to your friend and come right back. Okay. But just to make sure, you really want me to share a bed with you? Yes, Ren. And I'm really your boyfriend? Yes, Ren. Really? You promise? Hurry up before I change my mind. He's gone. Yeah. Parasite love. Yeah. I thought that would be amusing. At that, Ren practically teleports out of my room and sprints down the hallway. Settling into bed, I let out a deep sigh and sank deeper into my pillow. Ren joined me earlier after he'd stripped himself of his outer cardigan and belt, though I figured the jeans must have been comfortable enough for him to sleep in. Absolutely not. No. Jeans, I could take a nap in jeans. If I plan to, like, sleep, no, we're not sleeping in jeans. Ain't happening. Dude, I'm always settling into bed. I let out a deep sigh and sank deeper into my pillow. Ren joined me earlier after he'd stripped himself of his outer cardigan and belt, though I figured the jeans must have been comfortable enough for him to... I already read that. But it wasn't like I had any spare clothes that would fit his large and lanky frame, and there was no way I was going to ask him to take his pants off. Ah, come on, it'd be fine. It'd be fine. Take them off. Ren, however, didn't seem to mind sleeping in denim, as he paid them no mind the moment he joined me under the covers and pulled me closer towards his body. I'm okay with that. I was so close that I could feel his chest slowly rise and fall against my backside, signaling that he'd already fallen asleep, and I found it oddly soothing somehow. It was so soothing, in fact, that it almost had me dozing off as well. Yet, for some reason, my mind didn't seem to get the memo. Today had been an eventful day, to say the least, but despite everything, I was glad that Moth seemed to enjoy themselves. All I wanted was for them to have fun and memorable experience here in Cortland Bay, much like I did all those years ago. Nothing could replace those fond memories of me exploring the wonders of the town on my own as a child, even going as far as Lake Blue Moss before an adult would find me and tell me it was time to go home. Thinking back on that memory, wasn't there someone else with me? I remember leaving the playground to venture deeper into the woods, far enough that I could see the actual lake itself, and there would always be someone waiting there for me. Was it Leon? It was him, right? I honestly couldn't remember anyone else from my childhood, but what about the child with the pigtails and colorful bandages all over their body? Was that Leon? Well, somehow that didn't feel right. Well, all this thinking wasn't doing me any good. I had to be up early if I wanted to try to catch up with Moth before they left. Sighing once more, I turn on my side and try to count sheep. Eventually, it works, as I soon find myself falling into a deep, comforting slumber. Damn it! And being that they just updated to day 5. We're not getting day 6 anytime soon. Alright, let's see. Ballsack. I can't believe my... Okay. We'll start with that one. You're back? I can't wait to see you again. No. Don't forget your drink. Placing my drink before me, which was a double... Jesus Christ. A double venti organic chocolate brownie caramel frappuccino extra hot with 1-inch foam non-fat. That's one hell of an order. Jesus! There's a double venti organic chocolate brownie caramel frappuccino extra hot with 1-inch foam non-fat. Oh my god. Ren, you shouldn't have. Literally what? Literally, what the fuck, dog? What the fuck?